But you're right, that's a good head of hair. 48 years of age, still a young man. But what a week it's been for him. Of course, all his focus on Harvard. Clemson win the tip and we're underway here in Salt Lake City. This is Kenyatta Smith, a left-handed attempt. Hugh Greenwood, the Australian national. Second-year starter for Auburn. They go right down low. That's Bairstow. Well, can Harvard protect the defensive glass? New 35 for the Lobos.
Well, you mentioned Smith, Kenyatta Smith. They decided to start him after they got beaten badly by Columbia. He responded with 29 and 10, and he started every game since, which is similar to Cameron Bairstow. Lobos struggled a little bit early on in conference play. Actually, going back to the St. Louis game, they decided to put him in the starting lineup at the power forward, and they've been dominant ever since.
High-low play between their two bigs. Bairstow to Kirk, and Harvard gets it back.
They scored 34 points against San Diego State. And Steve Alford said, you know what? We run better offense when Cameron Bairstow is at the power forward. He's a tremendous screener. He's got great energy. Doesn't always finish well at the rim, but he does all the little things, just like Kenyatta Smith does for Harvard.
Bairstow, a junior, honorable mention performer out of the Mountain West Conference. Minute 20 gone by, still looking for first points. Kenyatta Smith got away with a little extra step. Couldn't finish the bunny. The big fella steps out, nearly hits the three, and another offensive rebound for the Lobos.
And Alex Kirk is deceptively athletic, a very good shot blocker, and a very good face-up jump shooter. He also has a nice little right-hand hook for the Lobos, but he likes to pick and pop and shoot jump shots.
There's Bairstow. A little over-the-shoulder flick, so they've had a couple of good looks inside. And the game's still scoreless. Here comes the freshman Chambers right to the rim. Minnesota native averages nearly 13 per game.
And an absolute godsend for Tommy Amaker. He lost two players from last year's team who he expected to have back. We'll get to that shortly. Siani Chambers comes in from Minnesota and has been a godsend at the point guard spot.
Six-time Ivy League Rookie of the Week this season. Whistle blown again. New Mexico again. Offensive foul off the ball.
Woo, full speed. And this is exactly how it's taught. When you go by somebody, you want to bump them with your shoulder. That way they can never recover. Hugh Greenwood's a big fella. And a big Aussie, 6'4", big, wide, broad shoulders. Siani comes down, bumps him in the shoulders as he goes by him.
First ever meeting between these two schools. The irony is that Harvard played their tournament game last March at the Pit. Home arena for these Lobos, of course, in Albuquerque. Fell to Vanderbilt. And it almost feels like you're in the Pit here. So many Lobos fans in the house. Nice dribble drive, that's Saunders. So Harvard starts out with 4 straight points. 3 minutes gone by. The last New Mexico foul against Bairstow is first. That's Snell in the corner. So New Mexico misses its first 4 shots.
I will warn you, New Mexico can go through long droughts offensively. Shoot about 41% on the season from the field as a team. They'll go through spurts where they wear you out with jump shots, but they cut their teeth with defense.
Wesley Saunders holding, 10 to shoot. Nice little pick and roll play. Smith fouled to the floor. It's on Chad Adams, the senior. There's Tommy Amaker. We take a look at the Infinity Coaches Spotlight. Celebrated career, of course, under Mike Krzyzewski at Duke. And you see the job that he has done. 6th season already leading this Harvard program. 3 straight Ivy League championships. A school that waited 55 years to win their first conference title. Of course, no conference tournament in the Ivy League, so the regular season champion crown. Short on the jump shot was Steve Mondu-Misi. Snell. Officials say stay right here. It's against Harvard. Well, that's a look that Snell likes. 37% three-point shooter, had 21 in the conference final against UNLV.
He usually gets it going, though, with transition jump shots. And in talking to Harvard staff, what they want to do is make sure they get back defensively, look to score early or score late in the shot clock, not in the middle. See if that philosophy works.
Kendall Williams. And New Mexico still looking for his first points. 0 for 6. Harvard coughs it up. Saunders lost it. Here comes Greenwood. Kirk.
Boom.
Showing the range, and finally New Mexico scores. Alex Kirk redshirting last season. Back injury that eventually needed surgery. Second straight turnover from the Crimson. Williams. So New Mexico, one of its first 8. Harvard at this end, 2 for 5 shooting.
You see, Harvard's now they're going to run clock, and at the end of the shot clock, look to penetrate in and kick out for a 3. That's the early, late philosophy that Tommy Amaker's staff wants to try and execute against New Mexico.
Shot clock at 6. Mondumisi, left hand, a little bit too strong against Kirk. Mondumisi, the sophomore, Cameroon national. Here comes Greenwood, left hand. I'm not sure if it's nerves, perhaps a little bit too excited at the start, but a ragged offensive start. New Mexico missing 8 of its first 9 shots. Early going at Salt Lake City. Harvard with a 2-point lead. Ernie, don't apologize. We could hammer him on that.
Hey, no, I called that one. That one was easy. Oklahoma State doesn't rebound well. Oregon had 14 offensive boards. You almost feel bad for Akron playing without Alex Abreu, their point guard, who was arrested shortly before their conference tournament. You got no point guard, you got no chance, let alone no point guard against Havoc and their full court pressure. Easiest pick of the day.
Well, the story so far here, New Mexico 1 of 10 at the start, and trailing Harvard by only 2. 6 minutes gone by. This is the highly touted freshman, Siani Chambers, to Rivard. Every shot he takes is a 3, and Rivard with that make new single season record with his 75th three-point shot at Harvard.
How about Laurent Rivard wanted to go to Bucknell only because of the proximity of the dorms to the gym. And he didn't want to go to Harvard because the dorms are too far from the gym. And his mom put his foot down. He's Canadian. She said, "We're going to Harvard."
What a pass to Mondumisi, but they say goaltend. They say it was on its way down as Kirk blocked it. And Harvard with a 7-point lead.
Remember what we said, score early or score late. Rivard hits a 3 with 3 seconds to go in the shot clock, and then Harvard gets a quick board and runs it down the court.
Rivard has taken 202 shots on the season. 185 of them have been three-point attempts. They go to Kirk on the block. The spin move, the tip by Greenwood, no good. Mondumisi controls for Harvard. Well, Harvard feels like they can not only play with these guys, that they can win.
You just saw Cal win. They beat Cal at Cal earlier this year. And the Lobos a little bit out of sync with Cameron Bairstow out of the game with 1 foul. He's going to check back in.
Tough turnaround spin by Kendall Williams. Appeared to be minimal contact. He'll shoot 2. It's on Webster, his second. Celebrate 75 years of March Madness by voting for your all-time players, teams, and moments of the NCAA tournament. Vote right now at ncaa.com/March Madness.
Speaking of moments, how about the moment or the night that Kendall Williams had in Fort Collins, Colorado? 46 points. How about this stat? He had 25 threes in conference play this year. Mountain West Conference Player of the Year. had 10 on one night.
All-time Mountain West Conference record. That was February the 23rd at Colorado State in front of a lot of family and friends. What a year this young man had. Mountain West Conference Player of the Year. While only averaging, Doug, around 14 points per game, really illustrating the kind of team that New Mexico is.
Yeah, it was pick one of three guys, Alex Kirk, Tony Snell, or Kendall Williams, and he averaged a bit more in assists, had the 46-point game, a bit more points. In conference play, he actually averaged the exact same as Tony Snell.
Lane violation gives Williams another shot.
But he at times kind of disappears. He didn't play all that well, for the most part, in Las Vegas last week in the Mountain West Conference Tournament. They need him to play well, especially not just tonight, but if they hope to advance past Arizona.
Nice defensive play as Bairstow falls on it, bottling up Mondumisi, and the possession now favoring the Lobos. Actually, a foul charge to Mondumisi. Loose ball foul. So New Mexico gets it back down 5 with 12:28 left before halftime.
You get the sense of the value of Bairstow. Bairstow gets a good steal, big steal. We'll see if he can stay out of foul trouble. He has a tendency to move on screens.
Jamal Fenton has come in, one of only 2 seniors on this New Mexico roster. Here's Bairstow at the other end, just bulldozing his way to 2. 3-point game.
He is uber physical. Cameron Bairstow is just as valuable as any of the 3-star Lobos.
And he is a solid 6'9", 250. There's Saunders faking the spin and hitting the fade over Bairstow. 4 points for Wesley Saunders. He's Harvard's leading scorer. Also led the Ivy League. Better than 16 tonight. Rivard to steal. Boy, Kendall Williams rather threw it right to him. Rare fast break chance for Harvard, but Jonah Travis, the sophomore, couldn't finish. Backdoor Williams, full head of steam. And Tommy Amaker wants a timeout.
The Lobos at times get stagnant offensively. They get out and run. You find Kendall Williams, he does the rest. Harvard up 3.
Welcome back to Salt Lake City, where Harvard has a 3-point lead over the University of New Mexico. Now, I spoke to Steve Alford about looking at Harvard film and what jumped out to him. And he said, you know what? The coaching. And when I shared that with Tommy Amaker, he was genuinely touched and admitted the respect is mutual. And you have to remember, these two have a history. I know you'll get into that, Spiro. But Tommy Amaker said Steve was a really good player, but he doesn't get enough credit as a coach. He said, you look at the Lobos team, their basketball IQ, their balance, and the way they play within themselves, that all trickles down from Steve Alford.
Jamie, thanks. The news yesterday that Alford has signed a 10-year extension. Well-deserved. What a run it's been. Tommy Amaker, meantime, trying to pull the upset here at Salt Lake City. 3-point lead over the Lobos. Stay with us. Game summary with 11:10 to play before halftime. New Mexico, a team from time to time will go through these offensive droughts, and you see the shooting numbers, just 3 of 14, Doug, at the start. And Harvard's lead at 3. We've seen 3 lower seeds advance today already. Wichita State, our early game, defeating Pitt. Oregon knocking off Oklahoma State. And Cal over UNLV. Here's Kenyatta Smith, tough reverse play. Bairstow playing high side, and Smith with his first points.
Yeah, Bairstow is what's called full fronting, whereas you said high side. High side generally just on the very top side. He's completely in front of Smith. But if you're going to play that way, you have to get pressure on the basketball, and New Mexico wasn't pressuring the basketball.
Here's Bairstow trying to answer, and he'll shoot free throws.
That's what I'm talking about. Saunders has the basketball. You got to get all over him, all over him. He cannot make that pass, and still a good catch by Smith inside to finish.
This is one thing that Bairstow does very well. The junior second in the Mountain West Conference in free throws made and attempted. 73% shooter.
Well, they get to the free throw line a ton. 26% of New Mexico's points are from the free throw line, tops in the country. So, I mean, the game plan is fairly simple. It sounds simple, at least. Keep them off the line, make them play defense. and you have to score when they're going through these scoring droughts. And they've had it before. St. Louis, 13 points in the first half, 34 against San Diego State. And now, when they don't have their starting lineup in, they're not as cohesive at the offensive end.
Doug, you've seen the Lobos all season long. Surprised, I mean, we're 10 minutes in here. Surprised at how well Harvard's played?
A little bit.
This is Chambers, refreshed for the freshman. Shot clock down to 6. There's Saunders, the sophomore, Harvard's leading scorer. 1 to shoot. That's a 3. And Bairstow clears. Well, these New Mexico fans sitting on their hands so far. To shoot. There is Fenton. The senior taking Rivard to the rim, and he is fouled. They're so patient, Doug, waiting for the shot that they want.
Yeah, a little bit of it, though, is Harvard's playing really good defense. They know Fenton is the one guy from New Mexico that can really attack off the bounce. You know, last year to start the season, he was their point guard, and they were struggling a little bit. They put Hugh Greenwood in the starting lineup, but they just said, "Oh, when you come in the game, we just want you to score. Try to run the team." And he's much better suited for that role, even though he has limited minutes this year.
Fenton and Chad Adams, the only 2 seniors for Steve Alford. They are the 2 winningest players in New Mexico history with 105 wins. And Fenton comes up empty.
There's the score early, score late. Now if you're New Mexico, you're going to have to defend for 30 seconds.
Siani Chambers, the freshman, resets. Led the nation among freshman players with under 6 assists per game. Offensive rebounding. A little bit too short from Webster. Bairstow again moving without the basketball.
A little bit like me. He's a little bit awkward, you know? Just kind of throws his body around. Very strong.
Officials say non-shooting. Second personal against Mandu Misi. Tommy Amick making a couple of changes. He will sit the sophomore from Cameroon. Again, they go high-low. Kirk to Bairstow. Rivard holds steady. Harvard another steal. Dangerous pass by Chambers trying to find Smith. Fenton the steal. A blur to the rim. Circus shot. And then Bairstow fouled by Saunders. Seventh and 8th free throws for New Mexico.
Cameron Bairstow and Hugh Greenwood both played for the Australian Institute of Sport, which of course has produced the likes of Matthew Dellavedova, who lost his final game earlier today, Andrew Bogut. So many of the star Australians that have come stateside have gone through the AIS program.
A lot of international talent in this NCAA tournament this year. Of course, Canada getting a lot of publicity with some of the stars that have come out of there. We had one earlier, Kevin Pangos, of course, here with Gonzaga. Corner 3 from Rivard, his second. Speaking of players from Canada, Rivard from Quebec. Average is better than 10 per game. Harvard's lead at 6 with under 8 minutes to play before halftime. Bairstow on a turnaround. Kirk saves it. Shot clock resets. Right to the rim, soft touch. As Cleveland Thomas, the freshman, as Steve Alford shuffling guys in off the bench looking for a spark. Rivard. Thomas, the Baton Rouge, Louisiana native. A guy that was nicknamed Pancake at the age of 4. Dougie, he just loved pancakes.
There's nothing wrong with pancakes. Banana pancakes, blueberry pancakes, plain old pancakes, pigs in a blanket, breakfast for dinner. We're done.
Bairstow had it knocked aside second time and a foul. I think he said his favorite was blueberry, though, right?
You know what? Laurent Rivard. He's French Canadian, right? C'est toi, c'est magnifique.
Well, the beautiful Salt Lake Temple, one of the many landmarks near downtown Salt Lake City. Follow tournament scores, stats, and news live on the CBS Sports app. Get it free by texting SCORE to 42777 or visiting cbssports.com/mobile. Do it now from your mobile or tablet. Spiro Ditas, Doug Gottlieb, Jamie Maggio, our entire crew here on TNT.
It's like Groundhog Day with Cameron Bairstow at the free throw line.
Well, he likes to get to the line. This has been one of the strengths of his game. Well, not only does he get there, but he hits at a very good clip. Certainly for a guy at his position. Rivard. That time about 2 feet beyond the three-point line. There's Kirk. Over Smith. Kind of squirted through his hands. Kirk gets it back. Kind of line drives it in with a left hand. And contact. And New Mexico with a chance to take the lead.
He doesn't have a strong left hand. He likes to go to the right-hand hook. And New Mexico's kind of taking that away. But he gets a second shot. There's the miss. He just kind of flubs it up there, gets it back, jumps in, draws the foul. You want to talk about personal improvement? Last year, he would have been stuck behind Drew Gordon anyway. The transfer from UCLA was their star center. But he misses last year with back surgery. And he has come back into a refined product. Quality face-up jump shooter.
Chambers fouled. Last foul against Harvard was against Kenyatta Smith, his third. So a huge call. He's still in the game at the moment. And there are the Arizona Wildcats, a winner in the game just prior to this one, knocking off Belmont. They're now awaiting the winner of this one, who they will face here Saturday in the round of 32.
Are they texting others, or are they following me on Twitter? What are they doing? Definitely not looking
who
up the
doesn't
game.
follow you on Twitter? There's Smith. So Amaker rolls the dice, keeping Smith on the floor. And Harvard back in front.
You and I discussed this earlier. I like it. You get 5 fouls for a reason, and you can lose a game in the first half. Let's see if Smith's smart enough to stay out of foul trouble.
Siani Chambers lost the sneaker away from the play. And Rivard clears.
He's still playing. He doesn't have to. He can stop and say, I lost my shoe.
Chambers has lost his left sneaker. There comes Saunders, an illegal pick, and that is number 4 on Smith. And sometimes you have to put that on the guard, Doug. You have to give your big guy a chance to set himself for the screen. And that is a huge call.
He didn't have anybody waiting for him. He wanted to leave him in. Now Tommy Amaker's telling you have to be smarter than that. You have to learn to play with foul trouble. It's his third foul.
And that, so we stand corrected. Third foul on Smith. There is Kirk on a face-up going glass.
He is going over that left shoulder. And that's, if Caleb Tarczewski would look up from his phone, he would realize that if he faces Alex Kirk Saturday afternoon, that's where he's going.
Rivard with his third 3.
Uh-oh.
The gunner from Quebec, 9 points, and Harvard back in front. He had a streak of 26 straight games with at least 1 3 ended in late February. Kirk going hook shot.
That's his game. That's his go-to in the low post.
8 points for Kirk, the New Mexico native. Here comes Saunders, left-handed, right side.
all of the basic tenets of New Mexico's defense are getting destroyed. Now, Bairstow's having to guard out in the perimeter. He doesn't normally do that. And they ice or down ball screens, and Harvard's making them pay for it.
Traveling violation. Bairstow trying to throw the little head fake, dragged his pivot foot, and that the 4th New Mexico turnover.
Well, this is where Cameron Bairstow, number 41, is right there. He's helping. You don't help off of Laurent Rivard. You don't help there, ever. Ever. He came in with just over 200 shots taken, 183s. You don't ever help. But because he's a power forward, a true power forward. And they have Chad Adams, who's more of a 3-4 hybrid who can guard him. I expect Adams to get a lot of burn here moving forward to the second half.
Under 4 minutes to play before the break. Saunders setting up Webster. 6-point Harvard lead. Timeout called by Steve Alford.
Score early, score late. Cameron Bairstow struggling to guard, and Harvard making him pay. Crimson up 6.
Coming up on AT&T at the half, we'll get you to our studios, caught up on all the latest tournament news, highlights, and updates. All coming up on AT&T at the half. Busy first full day of March Madness. And what a day it's been. Already 3 lower seeds have advanced, as we touched on earlier. Rough start for the Mountain West Conference. The first 2 teams to take the floor going down. Boise State last night. And earlier tonight, it was UNLV falling to Cal as a 5 seed. Lobos the 3 seed in the West region. And they've got their hands full early. Tip in underneath by Greenwood short. And here come the Crimson now looking for more, up 6. Steal by Greenwood. 7th Harvard turnover, and look at Bairstow beat the Crimson back to cut it to 4. 7 points for the junior Cameron Bairstow.
I've been watching one of the other games. Harvard's game plan is being executed to a T.
Webster. Harvard using the long ball. 3 from Rivard, and that is 2nd from the senior Christian Webster. Webster, the all-time winningest player in Harvard history. New Mexico answers with Tony Snell.
That's Tony Snell in his office on the baseline.
Harvard at this end has hit 5 straight shots as we hit the 2-minute mark in this first half. Seven to shoot. Mondumisi drop stepping over the top of Kirk with a left hand. So Harvard catching fire. They've hit 6 straight shots and lead by 6. Here is Snell, 10 to shoot. Trying to take Sanders. Fenton against Chambers. Down to 2 to shoot. Bairstow unable to get rim. And the Harvard defense forcing the 5th New Mexico turnover.
Now, a huge, huge 3 from Wesley Saunders. Only to be matched by Tony Snell, who believes in his Snell.
All right, Ernie, thanks. Winner of that game advances to take on Louisville on Saturday. But finally, a team from the Mountain West Conference with a lead today after UNLV going down earlier. Under a minute to play here before halftime.
Of course, Boise State lost last night to LaSalle out in Dayton.
If you've just joined us, New Mexico has not led. Down by as many as 7. Shot clock at 6. Saunders knocked away by Fenton, taken by Snell. Webster back, but no match. It's a 4-point game. Only 5 points for Tony Snell. Shot clock turned off, 14 seconds. The Harvard Crimson, 3 straight Ivy League crowns. Chambers, as Fenton taking a foul to give. New Mexico with a couple here. 5 seconds remaining, and Harvard will inbound. Well, get ready to bring it to Hero, an epic new competition series with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson this summer, right here on TNT.
I know they have fouls to give, but you don't want the wrong guy to get into foul trouble. Big thing is, don't leave the inbound pass to Laurent Rivard. He's a great shooter.
Rivard finds his spot. Appeared to have drawn contact, but the officials not going for it. But that does not damper a very well-played first half for the Harvard Crimson, the 14th seed in the West, as we take another look.
And a good no call. Rivard tried to jump in and get the foul. Think about this. Harvard is shooting 56% from the floor and 50 from 3. They are beating New Mexico straight up.
Jamie Maggio standing by with Tommy Amaker.
Thank you, Coach. You guys are working the clock. You've been able to dictate the pace of the game. How has that benefited your team?
Well, that's what we need to do. We need to have good ball control, take care of it. When we turn it over, it really hurts us in transition. I'm really pleased with the effort of our kids so far.
And you're hurting them with a 3 ball. What adjustments do you expect them to make defensively?
Well, we've been making some 3s. They've been making a lot of 2s in the paint. So we need to keep it up on the second half, defend the post a lot better.
All right, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Tommy Amaker's Harvard Crimson up 4 over the 3-seeded New Mexico Lobos here in Salt Lake City. That'll do it for the first half. We'll send you to AT&T at the half after these messages. You're watching the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship. 4-point Harvard lead as we sit in for the second half. Back with you from Salt Lake City. Jamie Maggio moments ago with Steve Alford.
Spiro, thank you. Coach, 1 of 12 to start the game. Has it been difficult to establish your rhythm on offense?
Well, their pressure's been really good. I give them a lot of credit. But, one team shoots 57, the other team shoots 35. We've had games where we haven't made shots, but we've defended better. And we got to do a better job of getting to their shooters. They made 5 threes. We made 1. And get a little bit tougher offensively.
Are they getting good looks beyond the arc? How do you prevent that in the second half?
I thought they got too many good looks. They got 5. If they get 10, we're going to be in some trouble. So we got to guard that 3-point line a little better.
Coach, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All right, we take a look at our first half stats presented by Coke Zero. Jamie asking Steve about the shooting, just 36%, something that he referenced. There's some nervous moments for these New Mexico fans that have made the trek from Albuquerque as we welcome you courtside. Spiro Diaz and Doug Gottlieb with you. First time that New Mexico has trailed at halftime, Doug, since late February the 23rd, kind of uncharted territory.
And that was at Colorado State, and they needed Kendall Williams to bail them out with 46 points. But I think the first thing is you have to know the personnel. You have to know that you don't leave Laurent Rivard. He is such a deadly 3-point shooter. And so when the coaching staff says, look, this guy's taking 100, 180 of 200 shots from 3-point range, and he is a classic catch-and-shoot jump shooter, you can't leave him. And they did. Part of it is personnel-wise, Cameron Bairstow having to match up with essentially a guard. And on the other end, New Mexico has to continue to exploit Harvard on the boards. They got 8 offensive rebounds, but they need to put them back with more efficiency.
Well, Harvard this season 14-1 when leading at halftime. Snell had his shot blocked. It's put back in by Kirk. So that gets him to within 2. You can't overstate the pressure that this New Mexico program is faced with. They have never been to the Sweet 16. So much talk about this being perhaps their best chance.
They got a great draw. They're close to home. They have incredible confidence. Just won their conference tournament championship for a 2nd straight year.
Tough shot from Saunders. Well, Arizona awaits the winner of this game. They'll play Saturday here in the round of 32. Here's Cameron Bairstow. up and under, and a chance to give New Mexico its first lead.
Laurent Rivard is a mismatch at the other end, but this is called mouse in the house. I got a mouse in the house. Just turn around, lay the ball in.
Is that what that is?
Mouse in the house.
The parade to the free throw line for Bairstow continues.
You do those NBA games, what do they call it? What's Carmelo call it when he's got a little guy?
Webster gets it back from Saunders. The senior can't hit. Snell the rebound. Got Williams back. Snell takes, going glass, and finally the Lobos in front. 6 straight points to start the second half. Big shot from the senior Webster at the other end. Winningest player in Harvard history, as we told you earlier. 9 points for Webster. Kirk stepping out. Chambers thread the needle to Webster. Rivard. 4th three-pointer of the night.
Here's the thought. Don't leave him. Little 3 goggles from the bench from Harvard. Don't leave him.
Rivard breaking a Harvard single-season record in the first half with his 75th three-pointer. That would not get a bounce by Harvard. Shot clock resets.
Really hard to do when you're a power forward because you're used to running to the lane, putting a foot in the lane, and you don't have to close out full. And remember, in the Mountain West, as good as the Mountain West is, with the exception of Boise State, who they beat in overtime up in Boise, no one plays small ball like Harvard's playing. San Diego State kind of does, but J.J. O'Brien can't shoot at the power forward. So this is very foreign to Cameron Bairstow.
Dangerous pass by Greenwood, deflected and taken by Smith. 6 Lobos turnover. Changes the direction by Chambers, going to Smith. 8 straight for the Crimson. Just when you thought New Mexico had taken control, Harvard answers back. Greenwood with the step as Webster hit the deck. A double spin move, awkward shot with the left. So New Mexico with possession, up by 6. With just over 3 minutes gone by in the second half. Harvard in the midst of this 8-0 run have hit 3 straight from the field. Here's Smith. Left hand over Kirk. Too much size from Kirk, the sophomore. Here comes Snell driving. Tipped up and in by Bairstow.
Well, Snell's been much more aggressive. He's had 2 drives tip back in, and he's made a drive himself. They got to dig in and decide, we're going to guard the shooters, we're going to keep Chambers out of the lane, and we're going to defend for 30 seconds.
Ten to shoot. And Chambers, the right idea, trying to find his man Saunders back door. Harvard turns it over. Williams nearly got caught. Bad pass by Snell, tracked down by Bairstow.
They're completely discombobulated. They have to get back into their sets. This is called zipper action. You go straight up the line like a zipper.
Oh! Again, they overplay Kirk high side. And that's the 4th personal on Smith. But Harvard making his statement, going nowhere, up 4. I'll be the first to know the latest news on all you teams with Bleacher Report's Team Stream app. Stay one step ahead. Check out Team Stream on your iPhone, iPad, or Android device right now. Well, nearly 25 minutes into this game, and Harvard under Tommy Amaker as the 14th seed here in the West, right now leading New Mexico. And this is just a late chapter in what has been a remarkable season. A year that started with turmoil. You know, 2 co-captains, Kyle Casey, Brandon Curry, thrown off the team, involved in a major cheating scandal at Harvard. Rocked the program. I mean, your 2 co-captains 2 star players that Amaker had built around, they were dismissed. 2 of 125 students involved are no longer at the university, and they have absorbed all that initially, and here they are now with probably their best chance to finally win their first tournament game.
And they've withdrawn from the university but are expected to be back next year, and they'll be joined by Zena Adesawan, who's 6'8". He's a top 100 recruit from Harvard Westlake in Southern California, so this wasn't even supposed to be a good year.
Harvard locked up their 3rd straight Ivy League crown. A great look at the 3 from Siani Chambers. The freshman can hit. Now keep in mind Kenyatta Smith, Harvard's starting front court player, picking up his 4th foul a moment ago. And he is on the bench. New Mexico couldn't save. It looked like Snell could get to it. So a 2-point lead for Harvard. Alford not happy about something. There's Kenyatta Smith. How long do you wait if you're Amaker to bring him back?
He's got 4 against the physicality of New Mexico. You probably got to wait until the under 8 timeout, especially as long as you're still in the game. He's replaceable. He's very talented, but replaceable.
Saunders against a very tough defending Snell. Here's Chambers, 10 to shoot. Mondumisi nearly turned it over. Webster over the top of Williams. Shot clock winding down. And the senior making it happen for the Crimson.
They brought in 7 guys when Tommy Amaker first got the job. He was the highest touted. He's the only one still standing. And boy, has he played well tonight, Christian Webster.
Webster, a freshman during Jeremy Lin's senior season at Harvard. And it was really Lin's senior year that started the program's turnaround. 21-8 during Lin's senior year. And Harvard, their 3rd appearance in the big dance, looking for their first ever tournament win. Traveling violation. And Bairstow can't believe it.
It's funny, Jeff Hartness made that call. He's officiated mostly in the South. Did the OVC championship game, that Murray State Belmont showdown. And you know, we don't know these guys. He's gotten away with a lot of those little things in the Mountain West Conference. Illegal screens got called for 1, and now a travel.
That's a great point. No more conference affiliations. These officials are selected and assigned to these games based strictly on merit. Excellent find, Snell to Kirk.
Tony Snell taking over a little bit. He's missed his 3, but he's driven the ball extremely well.
9th double-double of the season for Kirk, 14 and 10. Saunders taking Snell, and he tied him up. Snell, those endlessly long arms, and the possession arrow favoring Harvard. A look at our tournament summary so far. Second time in NCAA history, Michigan and Michigan State winning on the same day. And you see the 6 seeds, perfect so far. Arizona through here in Salt Lake City. They await the winner of this game.
Pretty good day for the Pac-12 so far. Big East avoids complete disaster with Marquette surviving Davidson.
Jonah Travis has come in for Harvard. Here comes Saunders to the rim, and he will shoot 2. And these will be the first free throws of the night for Harvard. Here's Wesley Saunders, the sophomore from Los Angeles. 72% free thrower. Well, fans, watch live games on your computer, iPhone, iPad, and select Android devices with NCAA March Madness Live. Watch now at ncaa.com/March Madness or download the app today.
And what's changed with Harvard is guys like Wesley, who comes from Los Angeles, turns down a scholarship offer to Colorado, USC, a top 100 recruit. They changed how Harvard is portrayed.
How about that shot from Snell? It's a long 2. High arching shot to bring New Mexico within 2. Oh, what vision by Chambers, and then the spin by Travis he couldn't hit. And we told you earlier, Siani Chambers, the freshman point, first among first-year players in Division I basketball with 5.8 assists per night.
More impressive, the first ever freshman in the Ivy League to be first team All-Ivy.
Incredible accomplishment for the young man. Blocking foul. Charge to Webster. And that's his third foul.
Tries to move his feet and guess. I think that's a charge or a no call. Play on.
Very close either way. Amaker's going to leave him in. Jamal Fenton comes in. We move on to 12 minutes.
Harvard doing a tremendous job of staying attached to shooters for the most part.
There's Williams. Offensive rebound. Kirk is 11th overall. And then the pass right through the hands of Adams as Harvard gets it back. Well, the boys from the Ivy League hanging tough. Up 2 here in Salt Lake City. Our game summary, 11:38 to play. 2-point lead for Harvard. And you see the offensive rebounds. It hasn't translated to the scoreboard so far. Can Harvard hold on here with still plenty of time left? Winner of this game advances to the round of 32. Arizona waits. The Wildcats in the building watching this game here. Mondu Misi in for Tommy Amaker. Kenyatta Smith still on the bench with 4 fouls.
And Jonah Travis also in, so Harvard essentially going big. So Chad Adams, who was brought in to guard Laurent Rivard, now is guarding another power forward.
Chambers. Appeared to be some contact, no call. Harvard with 3 seconds to shoot. Where does Harvard go for offense here? Saunders, their leading scorer. Guarded. Inside Mondu Misi. Nearly had the circus shot, and Travis sneaks in for the rebound. Just their 3rd on the offensive glass. Travis.
You don't have to hold the ball to run clock. They're running clock, but they're making New Mexico guard them for 30 seconds, which is exceptionally tiring, and that's going to hurt you at the offensive end.
Saunders fouled on the runner. That is just good fundamental offensive basketball, as New Mexico had to play defense for about 60 seconds.
You see Chad Adams struggling to guard out on the floor against Saunders. So Harvard didn't, it's not like they're letting JUCOs in, but Harvard relented on some of their restrictions in terms of letting guys into Harvard, and it's really changed their perception of recruiting and the availability of players recruiting.
Well, from executive producer Danny Wahlberg, their triumphs, their failures, their lives, Boston's finest, new Wednesday at 9, 8 Central on TNT.
Of course, of all the fine institutions in Boston, MIT, BU, BC, there's only one Harvard.
Well, the eyes of that city on Salt Lake tonight. That is Kirk. Well, where would New Mexico be without Alex Kirk tonight? 16 points to go along with 11 rebounds.
And a New Mexico-born product who has steadily improved.
And we hit the midway mark of the second half. The Harvard Crimson looking for their first ever tournament win as the 14th seed in the West region. Giving New Mexico all they can handle. Travis, pretty pass from Saunders. And suddenly now Harvard getting to the free throw line. They did not take a free throw for about the first 30 minutes.
There's that high-low action, and Harvard defended it well, but Alex Kirk from Los Alamos, New Mexico. Harvard just getting too deep in the lane.
Now, to be exact, Harvard went 27 minutes before getting to the line. And as Travis makes the first, the sophomore, Minneapolis native, 63% free thrower.
Of course, Siani Chambers also a Minneapolis native. And the thing about Harvard that's never been discovered before is it's really a national name. I mean, it's Harvard. They've never been able to capitalize on it until Tommy Amaker got there and until they changed some of the restrictions in terms of getting guys into school.
Not only about academics anymore. Four-point game. Bairstow wants to take Travis. And a foul charge. It's on Travis. That's his second. And the 5th team foul on Harvard. Bairstow will shoot.
Cameron Bairstow is wearing them out in the low post. The offensive rebounds, the post up.
7th and 8th free throws for the junior from Australia.
But you see he's 4 of 10. And if there's one thing he has to get better, he finishes below the rim and he struggles to finish at the rim. So as many good looks as he gets, he doesn't make enough of them despite all that effort and all those touches.
Chambers sealed off on the baseline. Saunders tracks it down, 10 to shoot. Chambers has missed close on a couple of threes as Travis is whistled for his 3rd foul. Next one will put New Mexico in the bonus rather.
So he's posting up and Adams boxes him out. Travis plays like Bairstow, where they just play at 115%. So sometimes it's kind of ugly because they're diving on the floor and fall all over themselves. Chad Adams like, look, I'm just trying to box him out, and he's diving on the floor behind me.
Snell against Saunders. They lead Barstow. Nearly untouched to the rim, and he'll get to the line again.
But you see how, as effective as he is, he still doesn't dunk that. And that should be and one, poke, chin up, smack the backboard, standing at the free throw line.
So Jonah Travis picks up his 4th foul very quickly. And New Mexico can cut it to 1 as Webster comes in. Travis will sit. So 2 Harvard players, rotation players, both with 4 fouls. Kenyatta Smith still on the bench. How much longer can you wait if you're Amaker?
Well, we said under 8 timeouts, so 8:30 and change to go. Harvard hasn't had a field goal since the 14:42 mark. So you've somehow been able to hang around without Kenyatta Smith.
Fenton the steal. Stealing the pass from Mandumisi. But what a job by the sophomore to get back and bother the shot just enough. Whistle blown. It's on Fenton.
Fenton is lightning in a bottle fast. It's like somebody's holding down the turbo button. But you know what, Mandumisi, he didn't block it. It's just the fact that he was there that Fenton had to lay it up extra high to avoid the shot blocker, and it ends up doing its job.
2nd on Fenton, 4th team foul against New Mexico. We come up on 8 minutes. Rivard off the fake. Too strong, cleared by Bairstow.
Did we arrive in Cambridge? I mean, you're hearing people hold their breath in Salt Lake.
Fenton puts the Lobos back in front. Just a 25% three-point shooter. And now Harvard has to play from behind. Ten to shoot. Rivard with a defender right in his face, drawing contact. It's on Adams.
And just when you thought things were breaking bad for New Mexico, Jamal Fenton to save the day. Lobos retake the lead.
All right, Ernie. So the Mountain West Conference finally gets a winner today after a couple of losses to start their tournament. And now Louisville, Colorado State, the round of 32 on Saturday. This is Laurent Rivard, the Quebec native at the line, will shoot 3 free throws and can give Harvard a 1-point lead. Well, stay tuned after the games for Inside March Madness presented by Buick on True TV. 7:14 to play as we welcome you back just before 10 o'clock here in Salt Lake City. Laurent Rivard to the free throw line, 4th tie tonight.
And I love this from Harvard. They've been in some foul trouble. They're struggling to box out New Mexico, defend New Mexico, so they go a little 2-3 zone.
Perfect pass by Snell. Kirk fouled. We saw the drought from Harvard, Doug, a moment ago. They've started to wear down a little bit against the size of this New Mexico team. They've got more than 7 minutes since their last bucket. 4th foul charge to Steve Mondumisi.
And they're New Mexico's still a well-coached offensive team. You saw they went into zone. We're going to get Tony Snell on the wing, feed the low post, and get the ball to Alex Kirk.
Well, Kenyatta Smith, by the way, still on a Harvard bench. Tommy Amaker not inserting him yet, and here he is right on cue. Smith has been out an extended time with his 4 fouls, and here he comes. Only a sophomore, the Sun Valley, California native.
So now they have Rivard, number 0, is trailing the play here at the power forward position. There's your mismatch because Cameron Bairstow is really a post player. He's not used to covering out on the floor. So you're going to run clock, and then run something for Siani Chambers at point guard.
Saunders. Wesley Saunders can give Harvard a 1-point lead.
And they're going right at the bigs of New Mexico out on the floor.
A sophomore with a 3-point play. Under 7 minutes to play. First field goal for the Crimson in nearly 8 minutes. Again, they get caught high side. Smith, of course, doesn't want to pick up his 5th as Kirk goes glass. Rivard sticks another.
So if you're Harvard, you need to stop chasing Cameron Bairstow to the top of the key. He's not going to shoot a top of the key jump shot and start playing behind Alex Kirk.
5 threes for Laurent Rivard. 17 points. Harvard in front.
Laurent Rivard just hit his 5th 3, and here's how. Siani Chambers drives the lane, frees it as Cameron Bairstow. Forget what you've learned, Cameron. You're not supposed to help off of a lights-out 3-point shooter. Bairstow helps for just a split second too long, and that's all Rivard needs to get off yet another 3-point shot.
Williams setting up Snell. Open 3, halfway in and popped out. And Bairstow with the steal. Lobos down 2. All the talk about would this finally be the New Mexico team to advance to the Sweet 16. They are being pushed to the limit here in Salt Lake. Critical turnover, their 9th.
Tony Snell dribbles off, ends up going right off his foot.
Harvard has led for nearly the entire game, enduring an 8-minute field goal drought just a couple of minutes ago. And now a chance to build on a 2-point lead. Chambers. Here's Saunders, leading scorer this season in the Ivy League at 14 a game. Over Kirk, and hits. Harvard's lead at 4.
New Mexico can't cover them out on the floor. They're too quick, they're too small, and too agile handling the basketball.
Offensive foul. It's on Bairstow.
I've done Mountain West games all season long, and I warn New Mexico fans. Cameron Bairstow has gotten away with this all year. Just leaving out a hip checking, as that's part of New Mexico's offense. Running off him on the offensive side as he's a screener. And that's the second one he's been called for this evening. It's different when you get in the NCAA tournament because these officials want to grade out well so that they can advance in the NCAA tournament. And that's the right call, by the way.
Smith, drop stepping to the left hand. The Lobo fans in the building, stunned.
Forget about beating him out in the court. Beating him right at the 10. The Crimson up 6.
Fans get full coverage of the 2013 Division I Women's Basketball Tournament at ncaa.com/Women's Final Four. Spiro Ditas, Doug Gottlieb, Jamie Maggio, our entire crew here on TNT. We're in Salt Lake City. A 3-14 matchup. The New Mexico Lobos victimized by a 7-0 run by the Crimson. Down 6. Williams swatted out. Kenyatta Smith with a left hand. Harvard looked dead in the water just minutes ago. And now a chance to build on a 6-point lead.
And if you haven't watched the first half, this was the game plan for Harvard. Attack early and attack late. In the middle, run clock. Spread New Mexico out.
Saunders blocked. Excellent defensive play by Kirk. He has done it at both ends of the floor. Under 4 minutes to play. New Mexico down 6. Dribble, drive, everything but the finish, and Kirk there to tip it in. Alex Kirk tonight, career high with 16 field goal attempts in the game. And he's got 22 points. Tommy Amaker calling for time in a 4-point game. Here's your game reset, 4-point lead for Harvard, 3:20 to play. You see the timeout situation. Both teams are in the bonus. Harvard will inbound the basketball. But keep in mind, 3 key rotation players in foul trouble with 4 personals for Harvard. Kenyatta Smith, Mandu Misi, and Jonah Travis. This is the freshman phenom Chambers. Now they find Rivard. Here's Smith playing with 4 fouls. Going middle, drawing contact. Alex Kirk looks befuddled. That's his 3rd foul. And Harvard to the free throw line. They can extend it to 6 when we come back. Second round coverage continues tomorrow. The Infinity NCAA tip-off show gets started on True TV at 11 a.m. Eastern. 16 games across TBS, CBS, TNT, and True TV tomorrow. You decide the games you want to watch. But first, the business at hand here in Salt Lake. 3:03 to play. There's Tommy Amaker. 3rd head coaching stop for him. Of course, the successful one at Seton Hall. Not quite as smooth sailing at Michigan. But here he is here. He's got Harvard right on the doorstep of a major tournament upset. A Harvard basketball program that has never won a game in the NCAA tournament.
Never say never, huh? How about Tommy Amaker didn't get Michigan to the NCAA tournament, coming off NCAA sanctions. Now he's already in the tournament again, on the brink of a big upset.
Snell, short. Last touch by Smith and Harvard. Shot clock will reset.
And you can see so much of the good screening action they run for Tony Snell. He's tremendous at catching off these screens and rising and hitting jump shots. Gotta hit one though.
This is when the nerves start to tighten up. Kenyatta Smith holding defensively against Kirk. And again, you can't overstate it again, Doug. All the pressure on this New Mexico team and Steve Alford, a program that has never even advanced to the Sweet 16. Hard to believe. Last year, the Lobos eliminated by Louisville in the round of 32.
And they give you verticality all the way up to infinity. Perfect defense by the Crimson. They lead by 6.
Tommy Amaker knows what it's like to pull an upset in the big dance as a head coach. Did it back in the 2000 tournament with Seton Hall as a 10 seed. They knocked off the 2nd seeded Temple Owls.
And he did it without his star point guard, Shaheen Holloway, who sprained his ankle against Oregon, and Ty Shine was the star. Ask me how I know.
Knocking off John Chaney, the legendary coach of Temple. 2:20 to play. Chambers, got it! It's an 8-point game. Kirk, a little bit outside of his range. Largest lead for Harvard. You can feel the air being sucked out of the building. So many from Albuquerque in attendance here.
Oh, where you going?
An opportune turnover. Kirk right back to Fenton. A 3, sticks it. 5-point game, and Amaker wants a timeout.
Where is Siani Chambers going? He drives in there, turns the ball over. Then Jamal Fenton, pump fake, one dribble, gather yourself. Lobos, very much alive.
Game reset here with 1:29 to play in Salt Lake City. Harvard will inbound. Doug, what about strategy here? Both teams in the bonus. When do you start fouling if you're Steve Alford?
Well, I think you want to press in the backcourt. You're only down 5, so you're at minimum going to get 3 possessions with the basketball. Get a stop and then figure it out. But you have to know during these timeouts who the poor free throw shooters are.
Saunders is 72% free throw. He's their leading scorer. Guarded here by the Lobos' best defender, Tony Snell.
The great thing about Harvard running clock is this is how they played the entire game. So they're not dialing back their offense. This is kind of essentially how they play.
Siani Chambers, freshman star, Minnesota native. Inside Mondumisi, stripped, gets it back. And a late whistle on Kirk.
Whoa. An unbelievable play by Jamal Fenton. Fenton's outsized by a foot. And he makes contact, knocks the ball away on the way down. Then Kirk recovers. Yeah, I think it's a good call. I think he hit him on the wrist.
4th personal on Alex Kirk. And now Steve Mondumisi, the Cameroon national, 71% free thrower, steps up for 2.
Ball don't lie. Maybe he didn't hit him.
There's Steve Alford. Just over 24 hours after word that he had signed a 10-year contract extension. Trying to avoid a major 2nd-round upset here in Salt Lake. Tommy Amaker comes right back with Kenyatta Smith. 6-point Harvard lead with 55 ticks remaining.
And this is a lineup I have not seen from the Lobos, but one they probably should have used earlier. 4 guards, 1 big guy.
Kendall Williams to the rim. And he'll shoot 2. Williams, a 78% clip on the season. And that on Kenyatta Smith, he has fouled out. So big loss for Harvard. We'll see how Tommy Amaker handles. Smith, the sophomore. It doesn't necessarily give him a lot of scoring, but his size is so invaluable against a big physical team like New Mexico.
Here's another rule that needs to go. Do we really need another timeout? we have a TV timeout at every possible dead ball, and we need another minute after a foul out?
What about strategy here, Doug? 48.3 to play. You lose Smith.
I think you have to press in the backcourt and trap. If it gets to the front court, you want to foul the poor free throw shooters. And right now, Manu Misi just missed one. That's probably the guy I go after first.
Here is Kendall Williams, player of the year in the Mountain West Conference. Average 14 per game.
He has done nothing tonight. I mean, been Casper until this last drive.
Williams 1 for 5 on the night. It's 2 huge free throws to make it a 4-point game.
I would, if Cameron Barstow catches the ball in the front court and he's a decent free throw, I'd foul him. Coming off the bench and shooting free throws, when you don't have a lather going.
Laurent Rivard, rather, unable to inbound, will burn a timeout. 48.3 to go. High drama here in Salt Lake City. Game reset, both teams down to their final timeout. 48.3 remaining. It will be Harvard basketball.
Let me correct myself. Cameron Barstow coming into the game with 2 fouls, so he's the guy you want to have foul, whereas Alex Kirk had 4 personal fouls. That's why they took him out.
Rivard can't find anyone, and they'll take their final timeout. Well, that's something you rarely see. What defense on the inbounds play by New Mexico. Harvard out of timeouts. Well, the plot thickens here. Harvard burning its final timeout. And that's huge. Still plenty of time. 48.3 seconds, a 4-point Harvard lead. They must inbound the basketball right here. Both teams in the double bonus, shooting 2 free throws on every whistle.
They've tried 2 different inbounds plays. They haven't worked. For Cameron Barstow, though, you have to get on the other side of your guy. Going behind on the Misi.
Webster inbounds to Saunders. They foul immediately. Saunders is 72% free throw shooter, so it's by no means automatic.
You got Webster's a 65% free throw shooter. Saunders, Manu Misi 71, but just missed one. So you do have some choices to make.
Well, the 2 best free throw shooters for Harvard, Rivard at 84%, Chambers at 82. This is Wesley Saunders. 5-point game. As we touched on earlier, Harvard in the NCAA tournament for just the 3rd time ever. They have never won a tournament game. They are right there, but can they hold on here with 40 seconds left? Fenton. Offensive rebound, Barstow. Greenwood, left-handed floater, can't get it, and Chambers has it for Harvard. He is their best free throw shooter, 84%, and Harvard can taste it.
When Siani Chambers was in 8th grade in Minneapolis, Tommy Amaker saw him play and told his assistants, start a file on him. And when no big-time BCS schools offered him a scholarship, Siani Chambers ends up at Harvard as their starting point guard. And he's got a chance to ice this thing.
At one point this season, he made 32 consecutive free throws. But this is a different deal here. His nerves start to tighten up. 26.8 to play. Seconds away from the biggest win in program history. 6-point game with 22 seconds. Williams to the rim. Boy, Manu Misi tried to pull back. He is fouled out. Kendall Williams to the line.
And I'm surprised that Steve Alford didn't put in Alex Kirk on an offense to defense sub. I've ceased to know what is and isn't a foul at certain times.
That's a very tough call on Mondu Misi. Appeared to have pulled back, so he is out. Jonah Travis will come in, the sophomore. He's given them some solid minutes off the bench.
There's the guy.
Misi, the sophomore.
There's the guy you foul. The guy who comes in, who's dry, that's the guy you foul.
Travis is 63% free thrower. There's Williams. Absolutely have to have both. And those pictures from the New Mexico sideline tell the story. Williams, the Rancho Cucamonga native in California, rims in the second. 4-point game. And keep in mind, Harvard is out of timeouts. Webster inbounds to Saunders. Extra couple of seconds come off before they get Greenwood on the foul. And actually, they give it to Snell. That's his third. 17.3 to play, but a lot of pressure on Harvard, Doug. They must inbound with no timeouts.
I mean,
now a double bonus situation, 2 free throws.
Go get the ball. Go get the ball. Don't be denied. Brett Lavard, 84% free throw shooter. Chambers, tremendous free throw shooter. Go get the basketball.
Doug, how big an upset would this be?
I think it'd be massive. Harvard's 2 best players had to withdraw from school before the year began. They were not expected to even win the Ivy League. Next year's supposed to be the year. This is New Mexico's year. New Mexico's got everybody coming back, but they were dominant in the Mountain West at the end of the season.
Williams on a long 3. Final seconds. It's poked away by Saunders, and Harvard's going to do it. Harvard has stunned New Mexico here in Salt Lake City.
Beat them from tip to finish. The mismatch of Rivard. The game plan of holding the basketball and working late in the clock. The defensive intensity and a couple of shots here or there. And Harvard has won their first NCAA tournament game ever.
The celebration has begun here in Salt Lake City. Well, Doug just alluded to it, the scandal early in the year. Their 2 co-captains dismissed from the team, Kyle Casey, Brandon Curry. But Tommy Amaker and company picking up the pieces as they score the biggest win in the history of Harvard men's basketball. The Crimson are through, and they will take on Sean Miller and Arizona here in a round of 32 on Saturday.
Somebody wake the president. He's a law school alum of Harvard. They're going to the round of 32 to face the U of A.
The Harvard Crimson, 3rd round bound here in Salt Lake City. The tournament continues live right now on True TV with Montana and Syracuse. Now for Doug, Jamie, our entire crew, Spiro Ditas saying goodnight from Salt Lake City.